Comrades and friends, this is Mr. Shishi Amos. Uh, I'm here. I want to talk about the current situation in Malawi. We know very well that the Malawian government, under the President of the Republic of Malawi, Mr. Lazarus Mikas Chakwera, things are not going according to our expectations. This is because that Mr. Chakwera, as the President of Malawi, we can't say that he has sorted out, but the only thing that we can say is that he knows what he's doing. And he knows who really his masters are. That is why we see that things are going astray. When Peter Mutharika was president, the fuel prices were very low, at 500 kwacha per liter. They went up to 700. That's when we saw the former vice president, Mr. Cyrus Kuruchirima. May his soul rest in peace. He went on national podium to say that whatever is happening in Malawi is total anarchy, and the price of the price of the fuel should be cut to 600 kwacha, even 500 kwacha if the need arises. Fortunately, we had a listening government under Peter Mutharika, and he was able to listen to that message, and the price was dropped to 600 kwacha per liter. But as we speak now, it is more than 2,000 kwacha per liter, and even as the situation is now, 5 liters now is being sold at 40,000 kwacha. So it means that in terms of business in Malawi, it is not marketable for anyone to do business. This is because of the leaders that we put in power. So what I'm trying to say is that in Malawi, we as citizens, we have the right to remove these people from power. I was very disappointed to hear Mr. President, Mr. Lazarus Mikas Chakwera, when he came on national podium to announce that the plane went missing in Chikangawa. We all believed that maybe we could have survivors there. But somewhere, somehow, an instinct was kicking to say, no, what if this was planned? We'll never find survivors there. And that instinct which was kicking in our head became reality, because we saw that the president told us that the plane went missing around 10:15 in the morning. That was on the 10th June. To our surprise, that the president came to announce about the missing plane around 7 o'clock in the evening, 7:30, somewhere there to 8. He was feeling very sad, very sorry. To some of us, we said, no, these are the crocodile, tears of the crocodile. Because in his mind, it was to say, oh, thanks, good riddance. Now I've got no one to compete with. That means this accident, that agreement has fallen by the wayside. That means I have no one to say we had agreement, what. So the modus operandi of the Malawi Congress Party since the dark days, it is the very same Malawi Congress Party which connived with the Boers in South Africa to kill Samora Moses Machel. We should not hide about these things. The Malawian Congress Party, led by Hastings Kamsubanda, is the one which was behind the death of Samora Moses Machel in Mozambique with the Boers from South Africa. This is not something that I'm talking from my own figmentation, but it's something which is written and is there. There was no reason for Malawi government to support Alfonso Dhlakama in Mozambique when Samora Machel was trying to rebuild Mozambique from the Portuguese. Let us not forget that in 1984, there was a combat agreement in South Africa between South African apartheid government and Mozambican government, which was aimed at good neighborliness and non-aggression between two states. 1985, late 1985, that's when our Frelimo and Comrade Machel, he found out that the South African government has sold out, and they were still supporting Alfonso Dhlakama in terms of military, food, uniform, and through Malawi. By then, the capital city of Malawi was Zomba, so everything was going from Pretoria to Zomba, and then it was being given to Alfonso Dhlakama forces. But remember, there were frontline states. So when Samora Machel found out about this, he was very unhappy, but he didn't want to take any action bad against Malawi. Before he discussed this matter, I went to see Kamuzu. Kamuzu never listened. From there, he went to speak to Mwalimu Kambarage Julius Nyerere, and they proposed for a meeting in Zambia, Lusaka, to say, let us sit down and talk about how we can deal with Malawi. In this case, they decided that they could give sanctions to Malawi or either bomb Malawi. But the main solution was to say, let us give sanctions that Malawi should not have any trucks, no flights going to South Africa or going through Mozambique. That was the first sanction that they wanted to do. But little did we know, or little did they know that the Boers and the Malawian government, they had already put in plan ways of how to eliminate Samora Moses Machel. But when he was flying from Zambia to Mozambique, the flight veered off from the radar from Mozambican side to South African side in Mpumalanga, Mbuzini. That's when the flight was pulled down. When the flight was pulled down, not all of the people died there. There were some survivors. Even the bodyguard of Samora Machel still lives to date. They were calling names there. And all of the people who were involved in the accident, they had name seizures. And the radio beacon was stolen from the aircraft. So we are talking about the history of pulling the plane down. This is what happens. People have got ways of trying to eliminate each other through these mysterious deaths. So fortunately, we know that South African government was behind, under the Boers, was behind the death of Samora Machel in combination with Malawi. Remember, by then Malawi was not part of the frontline states, so it was very easy for them to do these clandestine things against other presidents. That's why you see even to date, they might pretend that there is good relations between Malawi and Mozambican government, but when it goes to the ground, the people of Malawi are suffering when coming to South Africa using the Mozambican roads. Everywhere we are being harassed, tarnished. We don't blame them. It's very painful to have lost such a great leader in the name of Samora Moses Machel. But this is what happened to Samora Moses Machel under the Hastings Banda regime. So fast forward, we had an agreement between Chilima and Mr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera. That agreement was meant to say that Mr. Chilima was humbled himself enough to say, I'm very young, Mr. Chakwera is older than me. Let me first give a chance to the elderly. He didn't know about that in politics there is no such. You could have just said, I'm a vice president, let me take over, then from there you carry on. I think Chilima would still be alive today. But because of the agreement which they had, we suspect that it is the reason why Mr. Chilima was eliminated. I don't believe that death is something that comes from God or something like that, no. Because when Chilima was delegated to go to attend the funeral of Mr. Raf Kasambara in Katabe, it was a day after he had just arrived from South Korea. On top of that, it was a day when Chilima was supposed to rest, but because he said he was a friend of Mr. Kasambara, then they said, okay, I'm delegating you, I'm going to the Bahamas. Therefore, all the presidential duties are delegated to your office, and you have to go and represent me at the funeral of former Attorney General Mr. Raf Kasambara Nkatabe. The very same plane which carried the funeral of Mr. Raf Kasambara was the very same plane which carried Mr. Saulos Kurachirima and the 8 others. To our surprise is that we were told that there was bad weather in Msusu. But if you go deep down to say, don't we have weather forecast in Malawi who can tell that in Mzuzu the following day the weather is not going to be fine? It would be very easy. It would have been very easy for Mr. Chirima and the team to drive from Lilongwe to Nkatabe. It's not far. Less than 4 or 5 hours they would be in Nkatabe. To our surprise, he was given a flight, and that flight was not going to Nkatabe. It was going to Msuzu, and from Msuzu to Nkatabe they were supposed to drive again. What was the point? So when he came to announce that the plane went missing, there are some things that makes us to suspect that there was a foul play into that plane. One, we were told that the plane left Lilongwe 9:15 to Mzuzu. When it was flying, we were told that the plane went missing on the radar after it had arrived in Mzuzu. Then upon landing, it was told, the crew were told that they cannot land due to the weather situation on the ground. They were advised that they should fly back to Lilongwe. Okay, fine. They fly back to Lilongwe. Upon their flying back to Lilongwe, the plane went missing on the radar. That was 10:15. That's when they discovered that the plane went missing on the radar. After they had found out that the plane went missing on the radar, they informed the president. The president said, okay, give me an update in 4 hours. Give me an update in 4 hours. This is the president of Malawi speaking, not me. After I had received the information that the plane of the vice president had gone missing, I advised the security apparatus of Malawi to say, please report to me in 4 hours. So my question is, why is it that the president saw it very difficult to advise the military of Malawi to say, please, wherever you are, go, wherever you can go in the north and check, search everywhere, and I'm going to join you. 10:15, the message was received. Maybe 10:30 to 11 o'clock, the president should have said, let me go and search. None of that happened. So these are the things that we have to connect the dots. He didn't do that, but he said, give me an update in 4 hours. The question is why? And he was telling us, or he was addressing the nation around 7:30 in the evening. From 10:15 to 11:15, 11:15 to 12:15, 12:15 to 1:15, 1:15 to 2:15, 2:15 to 3:15, 3:15 to 4:15, 4:15 to 5:15, 5:15 up to 6 o'clock, then 7 o'clock. That's when you come to say, this is what I want you to do. On top of that, he said, I have asked the American government, the British government, the German government to help us in the search of this missing plane. So the question to him, we as citizens, is that we have got South Africa, which has got the capacity to help us in such circumstances. We have got Zimbabwe, which was given 24 aeroplanes by the Russian government. 24, 18, and after on top of 18, they were given extra flights which could help us in such disasters. Zimbabwe, which is less than 1 hour, 30 minutes flight from Lilongwe to Harare. South Africa 2 hours, Zambia less than 1 hour 30 minutes as well, from Lusaka to Lilongwe. But it took the president to ask the American government, who are supposed to fly maybe 24 hours to get to Malawi. 2 hours replies. Our president, Mr. Enoch Chehana, Mr. Timothy Bagonash Ntambo, Mr. Maurice Mtai, and all of those willing Malawians, they left Nkata Bay, they went to Chikangawa, and they started searching. After they started searching, they were deliberately misled to say, let us go this side, while the plane has fallen on the other side. Let's go this side. They were being misled. After some time, they said, no, now we have cut off the siege. We have cut off the siege. They said, who has given you this authority to cut off the siege? They said, the powers that be. Well, those powers, you don't know whether the soldiers they sleep. I don't think if the soldiers have got holiday. If you are on holiday, someone takes over automatically. It's like the office of the president. There's no vacancy. So we are very surprised. How can you cut off the siege while someone is dying for his or fighting for his own life in the bush? On top of that, the very same president of Malawi said that we have got a problem because the plane, it looks like it has gone missing into a very thick forest and there are no village, no towers. So if there's no village, no tower, it is very difficult to locate the flight because it was missing on the radar. We don't know whether the tower was telling them that this is the side where it has gone missing. No, none of that sort. So the plane went missing on the radar, and there is no tower, no village, no one could hear. The sound of a plane crash is very huge. For you to hear, if we hear a rocket on New Year's Day, why was it difficult for the people to hear the sound of the plane? I've got a comrade of ours called in course member of UTM. He said he saw the plane falling down. What happened to the people who saw the plane? On top of that, the president said, oh, it is very difficult to locate the plane, but I hope we'll find survivors there. At the same time, you're telling people you have advised the military to give you the update in 4 hours. Then you expect to have survivors. If people have got cut wounds, the air, once it goes inside, then people, they lose lives. And yet you're telling the nation that you have told them that you need an update after 4 hours. I think on my side, in my mind, I do believe that the president was not being serious with the nation. It is because he knew that he was the person in charge of the military and the police, so no one could do anything. And we need to know who advised them that they should call off the siege. And we want to also to know that why is it that the president is a leader of government, but the people who are working under him in terms of the Minister of Defense and Minister of Homeland Security was Kenneth Karengoma and Mr. Harimle Kanjaram Kandawire. Why these people are still working in the Malawi government? Minister of Information Moses Kunkuyi came on national TV to say that they have got the black box and it is being kept safe. Why is it that up to date, no one in the Malawi government has lost any job? So should we ask this question to say that, is it really that the president was misled or he was acting on something? These are the relevant questions that we need to ask. So if you're sending the police to arrest people who are asking this question, you must tell us why are you trying to stop people from asking these questions. And Mary Chidima said it very clear that the things that happened within 24 hours of that day, even to date, she still doesn't understand what is happening or what happened on that day. Even the answers given by that useless commission, I call it useless deliberate, are not convincing. It's true. You can't say the Bishop of Mzuzu said, this plane never reached Mzuzu. The president is lying. The following day, the police go and arrest him, bring him to the wrong. It took up to the judge to say, don't arrest people when they're asking questions. This gentleman has got no crime against him. He has never committed any crime. If it wasn't for the major street in the wrong to say, please release him, he's free. He doesn't have any case. Why is it that, Mr. Chakwera, you seeing these things are happening and you keep quiet? It is the very first time that we have seen Madam Yoram just sitting in the sofa, taking money from the government as salary, while protecting criminals who are carrying pangas in Rirong in the name of political party apparatus, the MCP Malawi Young Bayoni. Whoever is talking, whenever people doing candle writing, you say, when will you stop doing this? And that what is gone is gone. If it is on your own relative, would you say that? So some of us are political activists. We know the history of this country, of this world, what is happening. And Malawi has been a very close friend of Israel. At the same time, it is Israel which was involved in the putting down of the plane for the former president of Iran. In the very same month, the plane had fallen down in Malawi, killing the vice president. In Iran, the president is killed. When it comes to Malawi, the vice president is killed in a plane crash. In Mozambique, 1986, the plane was fallen down. The plane crashed, and Samora Machel, the president, died. And by that time, Malawi was a friend or in good books with the PW Bottas regime. So, in Malawi again, when David Chiwanga, Atati Mpakati, Duji Ziza, Twaibu Sangara, Aaron Gadama were fighting for justice in Malawi. They were killed by the MCP government, only to be told that the car had crashed with a tree. It had crashed in a tree. These people were fleeing Malawi to Mozambique. Few days later, we found out that those people had nails in their head. Tell me if those people were indeed involved in a car accident or someone hammered them with 6 inches. These are the things that we have to know MCP for what it is. When you appointed the Commission of Inquiry, Mr. Sylvester Namiwa said very well that we are not supposed to make this commission secret. It must be public. Everyone should participate in this commission, even if they don't come to testify at this commission, but at least they can open the radio, open their TV, and listen to what is happening or to the questions being asked. And the first witness should be the president of Malawi, Mr. Lazarus Makazi Chakwera, for lying to the public. We can't say he was misled. He lied before the public to say that the plane reached Mzuzu, or it never reached Mzuzu. And it was very unfortunate for the president of Malawi to leave Malawi to go to Germany. I don't know to do what. Spending Malawian money. Malawi is a poor country, spending billions and billions of kwachas just to fly to Germany, just to ride a bicycle. That was something that he did in Germany. From there, the report came to say that the plane went missing, and indeed, it never reached Mzuzu. The Chakwera never commented on that. He didn't say, no, this commission, these guys are lying. After he was forced, then he started appointing his royalist, Nkosi Amakosi Mberwa. It's very unfortunate. The very same Nkosi Amakosi Mberwa, with his delegation, they went to Chakwera to say they will pay condolences to the sitting president, not going to Mary Chirima's house to pay their last respect or condolences to Mary Chirima. Rumor we heard that it was the same Nkosi Amakosi who received some brown envelope from there. Whether it's true or not, he has to come clean on that. So when leaders they want respect from the citizens, I think they should earn it through their actions. And we as citizens of Malawi will never be mistreated. Will always speak out and ask these necessary questions. Will never keep quiet. There was foul play on this plane. And once this government leaves power, will push them out. That's when the real commission of inquiry will come and it will go down to the bottom of this and it will be public. We cannot have a very strong man like the Saulos Chirima, the character of Saulos Chirima, to die in such circumstance. We know that his death is, even today, we still don't believe that Mr. Chirima is dead. Now we have got this guy from MBC, George Kasakura, saying, Agabambe Anaba Chipande. That was democracy in UTM to say, let's go to National Convention and elect leaders. They went there and voted for the leaders of their own choice. There's no one who has stolen any political party here. In a democracy, it's a game of numbers. If one has won with major numbers, that's when you say democracy has been successful. So for them to say that Mr. Kabambe had stolen the political part of Mr. Saulos Chirima, now that Mary Chirima has put a foundation in place, it means they're telling Mr. Kabambe that don't mention the name of Chirima. Who says so? The very same Mary Chirima said she's got a blessing for that political part and the leaders who have been elected at the National Convention. It is the MCP government that connived with the South African government to kill Samora Machel. It is the very MCP government today that knows something about the plane crash because the security apparatus was controlled or is controlled by Malawi Congress Party as the governing party in Malawi. That's not a hidden secret. It's open secret that the Malawian government, Minister of Homeland Security, Minister of Defense, Minister of Disaster, Minister of Information, they're reporting to the sitting head of a state, who is Lazarus Mekazi Chakwera. If he is saying that those people, they don't report to him, then he has to resign. He's incapacitated. He doesn't know what he's doing. Was it not the very same Chakwera who said that people, he is the appointing authority, telling ministers? Mr. Usi was also being pumped by the MCP to destabilize UTM. Today we've got this woman called Jessica Bwida, telling the whole nation that it doesn't matter whether the president lies, but their main mandate is to damage the DPP, is their main opponent enemy. Instead of opponent, they say main enemy. It's a high time that we Malawians know the truth that MCP will never change. Amati fees ukamtenga kupiririna, kupita nayo kupiririna. That fees will never change into a gosa or to a shape. Fees akakhala fees or mtamsamsa akwina. Kudi azora akadi abezora. So MCP, you were given a chance to prove us wrong that the crimes which were committed under one party state are issues of the past. But no, you have continued doing the heinous crime, even killing the vice president. It's the Malawi Congress Party. If you say we are accusing you wrongfully, the commission didn't say that. That was not a commission. And those people, for our chief, for instance, he just tarnished his name. They were not supposed to be part of that commission. It was not a commission, it was a rubber stamp to clear the name of MCP, while the nation is crying. It's like mukuti gwira babara lomwe sina bore. So realistically speaking, MCP, wherever they go, whoever they choose to associate with, is crime. Look at what is happening in Gaza. Pregnant women are being killed. Lit papers bombed. But all of that is being supported by Malawi Congress Party. They went to United Nations and vote that the war in Ukraine should continue. At the same time, they go to United Nations and voting against Russia. So you can see we have got a puppet here. The puppet. Chakwera is not a president of Malawi, he's a puppet. Lazarus Mekasi Chakwera is not a president, he's a puppet of the British and the Americans. He's not a president. He was the first person to say that Minister of Homeland Security, because of what has happened, I've got you have got no chance to maintain your position. You are being fired. Minister of Defense, you are being fired. You don't deserve to be in my cabinet. Not even the next government if I win, because my name has been tarnished. A good president could have done that. Even that, if it was Chakwera whose plane went missing, I do believe that Mr. Chidima would have wear the gumboots and gone himself to the bush in search of his comrade. But in this case, Mr. Chakwera was sitting at home watching TV. He was watching TV, waiting for the update in 4 hours. Then we say President cares. Now he's telling us, I've built a hospital in Irumbi. Which hospital have you built in Irumbi? Your own MP has refused to say, no, that is a blue lie. And we have to call a spade a spade. Don't say the president was misled by people on the ground. No. The president of Malawi, Mr. Lazarus Chakwera, misled himself. He misled himself. He's a liar. He lied that he built a hospital in Irumbi. He lied that he built a community secondary school in Chitsengeze in Eutini, which is a blue lie. He lied that he built his security houses in Sanje. It's a blue lie. All of these roads that you are claiming about, I have built nice roads in the wrong. That was done by under the DPP, everything. Mukapeza nkazi wa mimba kuti ankazi ali ndi mimba mwana wa mwini waje mtaa mwana we ndi wanga ndapulisa ndeka munapulisira kuti we will never sit aside and look. This time around I'll be coming here each and every day talking about the world politics. You can follow me on YouTube, but we have to expose these lies that are being said by this government of Malawi. In the constitution of Malawi, there is no provision that empowers judges to create a constitutional court. Those judges who created the constitutional court, they committed a coup against the Malawian government by removing Peter Mutharika. Because the constitution is very clear. There will be a magistrate and a high court of Malawi. So, the main mandate of the courts is to interpret the laws which have been passed into law by Malawian parliament and signed into law by the president of Malawi. In this case, the Malawian government under the Malawi parliament, they passed laws that 50+1 is not the requirement of the constitution when it comes to voting. But those judges, they made their own laws in court instead of interpreting the laws which were there. Their main mandate was to deal with the DPP. Nothing else. I'm not speaking this because I'm a member. I'm not a member of DPP. I'm a member of AFOD. I'm a member of AFOD in good standing. Even the president knows that I'm a member of AFOD in good standing. The Constitution of Malawi empowers members of parliament to pass bills into law. And by the time Peter was president, the law which was there was to say first past the post becomes the winner of the election. And that was what happened when we voted for the first round in the elections, and Peter Mutharika won. Even in the second round, Peter Mutharika won with the same margin. So these judges, they committed a coup d'etat. One, they were not supposed to say, to propose a bill and pass a bill into law themselves and make it 50+1. No. They were not supposed to do that. Secondly, they were not supposed to make a constitutional court outside the constitution of Malawi. If that is the case, they could have demanded that members of parliament should go back to parliament and propose bills of this nature and pass it into law, then conduct elections. But because they were on paraffin speed to make sure that they remove Peter Mutharika, that's why we saw that they came up with this frivolous judgment. And far as we speak, in terms of coalition government to those countries that are under federal system of government, once a member of the unity government or coalition government has pronounced that they are out of that government, they are pulling out, it means that that coalition government follows down. So in this case, Mr. Lazarus Chakwera, as per the agreement of Tonse Alliance, Mr. Lazarus Chakwera is no longer a president of Malawi. According to the alliance, if we are to follow what the judges did, Chakwera is not the president. He's a de facto president, and he doesn't deserve even the retirement package for his seat, because he is a de facto president who is not supposed to be the president as we speak, because all members of the alliance had pulled out. So I will be educating you more and more. But the fact of the matter is that Mr. Lazarus Chakwera is not the president of the Republic of Malawi. That is why we saw the mysterious missing of the plane, so that he can maintain his position as state president. It's very unfortunate. Kuti apa panaenda ndiwolosenka kuti afune. So we see some members of MCP on the ground. Where have we seen that you have got a minister of agriculture taking the money for farm subsidy, what we call farm input, and going to the butchery, deposit it there, no fertilizer comes out. Up to date, nothing has happened to him. The Bridging Foundation, they came all the way from Nigeria coming to Malawi, getting the money from Malawi government. Up to date, nothing has happened. So, comrades and friends, we have to know that these people, they are there just to root. Even as I speak to you, there is a road construction between Lilongwe and Mzuzu. That road construction, the main player there is an architecture in the Malawian government who happens to be an advisor to the president. He is the one who has won that contract to build that road, and they have put the Chinese in front so that you may think that that contract is won by the Chinese company, while the main players are the MCP guys, and the money is being shared amongst themselves. Come 2026, come 2028, that road will never be finished there. That road, I'm saying, will never be finished up until there is another government which will go down and investigate this matter. The other one has got houses there at Bunda, next to Bunda College in Lilongwe. They're working at State House, they're giving contract to each other, the MCP guys. Chakwera said Mr. Peter Mutharika is a pathological liar. Who is a liar between Chakwera and Peter Mutharika? It is the very same Chakwera who told us that the plane went missing into a very thick forest, only to find out that the village was just next to the plane. In any village, when they hear something, they run to it. More especially in African countries. Unlike the Middle East countries where there is wars, when they hear a sound of a gun, people, they sleep and they go underneath. But in Malawi, when they hear a sound of something, they want to see it. Why is it that the people or the villagers around that place, in Chikangawa and Hungwa, they were not able to go and see what is happening there? What was the main reason for them not to go to where the plane is? Why is it that Donia, a military plane, which can land even on the road, was unable to land on the road while it passed the road. Hmm? Hmm? I don't know even up to date whether the American government gave a plane in situ of that flight. I don't know. But one thing you need to know, the MCP guys, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all of the people all the time. I know when you watch this video, you will start looking for me to say, let us find out where is this guy, what is he doing, why is it he body enough to expose us. What is written with me was already done. To tell you the truth, I was born and I'll die. I've lost so many great people in my life. They wanted to be alive. If you choose to kill me, I'm ready to die for telling the truth and dying for my nation. But the first thing you have to know, you'll also follow suit. You can't be killing people like that, then people, the whole nation is quiet. We'll never do that nonsense. Not with us. Not with this generation. We'll always speak truth, power, no matter the hardship or no matter the consequences that we might face. We know you have stolen a lot of money to use it for your own legal bills. But my question to you is, why is it that you hide that you said that there was no village or there was a village? Why is it that you said that there was no tower or there is a tower? Who switched off the tower? Even Dawood Suleiman should have been kicked out of that job for switching out the tower. I was spoken for more than 40 minutes, but it's a love for my nation. The one thing I would also want to say, Minister of Foreign Affairs, tell your officials from migration officers from Muzuzu, Lirongwe, Blantyre, and Mangosh. If the passport is 50,000, when we go there, we pay on the paper 50,000. The migration officer demands 300,000 to be given to him in order for you to acquire a passport. And yet we have got Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Homeland Security, Minister of Justice is there. Why are you sleeping at work? You go to Mchinji border, you have got a passport. That passport says that people should be able to yeah. This passport, this one. I don't know whether I see it proper or one. It says the President of the Republic of Malawi requests and requires all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer to pass freely without let or hindrance, and to afford such assistance and protection as may be necessary. Very clear. This passport of the Republic of Malawi, this one, goes to more than 75 countries in Africa visa free. I mean, not in Africa, in the world, visa free. But to our surprise is that members of the migration department at any port of entry or port of exit, whenever you produce this passport, they demand money in order for them to stamp, to put these stamps. To put these stamps. They demand money. To put these stamps. They demand money. These stamps. They demand money. So you ask yourself to say, when they demand money from us as travelers, what is it that they rely behind? No, they're not supposed to demand money. They are there to stamp a passport and raise the citizen. Where are you going? I'm going to Zambia, for instance. Okay. No, they check your passport. They have to stamp it that or let you go. But before you give them money, they need you to pay them bribes, maybe 10,000 kwacha to stamp. So let's say a bus has got 100 people, and that 100 people, then they demand money like 10,000. 10,000 times 10 times 10 is 100,000. Times 20, 200. So the bus has got 50 people times how much money? 500,000. They make per bus. How much money do they make per day? These are the things that we need a transparent government to do and to expose. I'm very pleased that the Anti-Corruption Bureau has put their online numbers, and have said that each and every citizen of Malawi, whenever you see corrupt activities taking place in any public office, please tell them. And I'm one of them. I'm not scared to tell you that Mchinji border is involved in corruption. Mwanza border is involved in corruption. Biliwiri, Dedza, and even Songwe. These borders, 5 borders, the one that I know, they're involved in corruption. You will see that maybe the traveling document has been made by the very same migration department, has been issued to the citizen by a very same department. But when that person, the traveler, reaches at the border, is being questioned. To question him is not wrong, but demanded money to pay in order for them to stamp. And we have got minister responsible is there. So I'll come back on this issue tomorrow. But today I wanted to talk about the shenanigans that happened when the plane went missing. And it is my belief that the Malawian government knows something about the plane crash. It's not a joke, but the question is, why is it that the president lied? We cannot say he was misled. He lied before the nation to say that the plane went missing into a very thick forest. It wasn't. Again, he lied that the plane went missing into a very thick forest and there is no village. It was not like that. There is a village. That was not how it was not like that. There is a town. What happened? Why did he lie? And who called off the siege? And if he was not involved, why is it that those people are still working as security as security head in the midst of the military? They could have been fired with no remunerations. Minister of Defense is still there. Whether you changed him, but we say we're still there. You never changed him. He's still there. Minister of Homeland Security is still there. Moses Kunku is still drinking nice things, nice tea. It's bad. It's bad. You have turned Mara into a banana republic and will never surrender that. Why did you fly to Germany? Why is it that that commission, the so-called commission, was kept secret? These are the questions that we as citizens we need to ask. When we ask these questions, we are being harassed, intimidated, with the arrest. You can arrest us, but you can put us in the prisons. You will never arrest our ideas. We'll even speak in prisons. And only if you give us food to die. But if we die, there will still be other people that will live and speak out. No one will live forever in this world. No one. No one will live forever. So you force others will also be forced, or you die naturally. But we as citizens of Malawi and Africa, the youth, more especially we, the youth, will fight. You thought we are done with Chirim. But all of us will speak out. Even people who will see this video, once you do bad things to me, there will still be some people who still want to find out the truth about what happened to me. We can't be living in a country like a banana republic. You can't be buying machines that will be spying on people just to protect your stupid position. You can't. Nonsense. Foolish.